When it's time for re-election, she turns into Sister Gal.
Right.
Right. That was funny as hell, man. And Jake was dancing with her.
Yeah.
It's pure folly, it's pure folly.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 2.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Perpetual hatred, man. He said, that boy, that boy got arms bigger than my time.
Boy.
Yo, Biden, that dude Biden is something else, man. Really good.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Has shed the blood of the children of Israel. Give me Proverbs 17:15. And MC Light came to his rescue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They always got to get the proof, man. Always got to get the proof. MC Light came and made a statement and said, they probably told her, get out there and clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't think he meant to say that. That was just a slip of the tongue. And I said, come on, MC Light. You from Brownsville, Brooklyn. What are the 90s? What are the 90s or Brownsville? Forget the 20s. Come on, you know what Esau was really saying.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the days, I remember dudes from the hood like, yo, I had to quit this job because the boss slipped and called me boy.
Mm-hmm.
And even back then, I was like, he ain't slipped, son. And Jay, you know, hardcore niggas in the hood, like, yo, I was gonna punch that crack in his mouth, man.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck you call him boy? You know what I'm saying? Jay, Jay at least understand that.
Yeah.
You know, Jay, he'll go kill his brother, blow his brother brains out. But I remember some hardcore Jakes like, yo, man, I would have punched that crack in his mouth, man. Yo, who you call him boy, yo?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't nobody's boy. Yo, I quit that fucking job, man. Fuck that. So I'm getting back on the block. Nigga, you probably went to sell drugs again anyway. But you know, you know what I'm saying? I remember that back in the days, yo. Who this cracker call him boy?
Yeah.
Right, go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord.
They're an abomination to the Lord. So you justify the wicked, but you condemn the just, you're an abomination to the Lord. Abomination. You got a wire?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's the battery ran out. I thought it just cut off. Yeah.
There was a time when way back when Obama was president, he was almost making fun of Judite women. And he said, Obama,
right?
Yeah.
We know it is Black History Month. When you hear somebody say, hey, Michelle, girl, you look so good. You know it is Black History Month. Hey, Michelle.
Say, hey, Michelle,
Yeah.
girl. He's like, let me make fun of this Judite.
Right.
I gotta listen to this all the time. He said, you know it's Black History Month when you hear, hey, Michelle,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
Remember, we went to the church and started singing Amazing Grace.
Yeah, with his shaking, trembling.
Yeah, shaking and trembling.
Yeah, God.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
That's him. I got jokes on Judah.
Yeah, Ham got jokes on Judah.
He said, girl.
Michelle. Girl.
When you see his face when he say girl, he like, I'll get your ass.
Right.
I gotta listen to all this Judah. I'm a Hamite.
All this kata.
Yeah, kata stuff.
Shy.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Slakia. All right. All right, we are back. We are back for another edition of the Wednesday wake up call. Okay, we are going to get into it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it. All right, so get comfortable. All right, let's first give all praise and honor to Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Kom Yashala, rise Israel. All right. Lot going on. Had to really condense this week because it is a plethora of news and reports going around that tie to biblical prophecy. Okay. So without further ado, let's get it. Let's start with Luke 21 and 25. Luke 21 and 25. And let me line up the videos. Okay. Playlist. Okay, let's try this again, right? Let's attempt. Hold on.
Align.
Slakia. Let's attempt to try this again. Esau has been very aggressive when it comes to taking down videos, you know what I'm saying? Trump is in office, so assuming that has changed, you know what I'm saying? Biden, same thing, but at least they kind of listen to their own law for the most part, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say for the most part, but allowing the videos to go out, you know what I mean? They've been bodying my videos like that now. So Fair Use Act. Fair Use Act. Matter of fact, I'm about to read the whole thing for real, because they might not know what it is. And this is teaching, right? This is teaching, so there's no violations. Not making money off of this. This is teaching. The Fair Use Act is a legal doctrine in the United States that allows the use of copyrighted material without permission. Okay, let's see. Freedom and Innovation Revitalization, United States Entrepreneurship Act. That's not it. What in the world? Slovakia. Maybe they really, I guess they're doing away with it. Welcome to America, where freedom, it's a bunch of freedom in America. Might as well be in North Korea. You know what I'm saying? Can't say what you want, body your channel, body your video. So, all right, I'm gonna stand on this box too long, but somebody tells me to stand up and pledge allegiance to the flag it's just the freedom, man. You should go to another country. Other countries aren't as aggressive with their you're free to do things, you know what I'm saying? Unless they follow after Babylon, aka America. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Let's start with Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, and sea and the waves roaring. Okay, so what is going on in the sky? I'll tell you what's going on. A lot. So let's get that.
The cosmic event will take place tonight as 7 planets align in a planetary parade. It's not often that the planets align in the night sky, but tonight is your chance to see it. A planetary parade will be visible after sunset
You might be asking, what makes this celestial event so special?
It's actually the fact that there are 7 planets in the sky at the same time from sunset to sunrise. That's the really rare part.
Planets have been orbiting around the sun for the last 4.5 billion years. Eventually, that would bring them to this alignment.
It also gives you a really cool connection to the universe because these objects in the night sky are part of our solar system, all part of our galaxy, all part of the universe.
Okay, now to a rare planetary parade happening tonight with Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Venus, Neptune, Saturn, and Mercury aligning for the last time until 2040. Wow. Joining us in the studio is Swinburne University astrophysicist Dr. Kirsten Banks. Nice to see you, Doctor. This is really cool. So how rare is it? Well, like you said, we're not going to see this again for another 15 years until 2040. So having all the planets on the same side of the Earth at nighttime is relatively rare. Wow, this is so cool, Audrey. It is. It's not uncommon for a few planets to be seen on the same side of the sun at the same time, but it's less common for most or even all of the planets to align like this. Stargazers are being delighted this week as a parade of planets decorate the night sky. Frequently referred to as a planetary alignment, 7 planets will be visible.
They all orbit the sun like racers on a track. And every now and again, we're in a vantage point where the Earth is turned so that it's in a nighttime view when a bunch of the other planets are also on the part of the track where we could see them when it's our nighttime sky.
Dr. Jackie Faraday is an astrophysicist with the American Museum of Natural History and says the Earth is in a good position in its orbit to view many planets.
The ones you can see with your naked eye are Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and Venus.
Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune will all be visible at the same time, though you'll need binoculars or a telescope to see the last 2. But all you need to do is look up and have a look and see Jupiter and Mars high up in the sky after the sun goes down. Venus will be low in the west, still bright and probably easy to spot. Saturn and Mercury are a bit of a challenge though. They're a bit fainter than Venus and really low on the western horizon. But all of those will be up in the night sky. But you also have Uranus and Neptune, which are not visible to the naked eye, but they'll be up there as well. Okay, so when we gaze up, are they going to look similar to stars or will they look slightly like, will Mars look red? Oh yes, Mars definitely looks red, but You're right, the planets do look very similar to stars, but to know whether you're looking at a planet or a star is remember the nursery rhyme, twinkle, twinkle, little star, not twinkle, twinkle, little planet. So stars twinkle and planets don't. How rare is it to see this kind of planetary parade?
It happens pretty unusually, but right now we have a number of that happening this summer and into the fall.
Notice how Edomites, like, they're about to be on TV, so they get their shirt crumbled up from the hamper and puts it on. Like, between the Seesaw that was just talking and this guy, they really don't dress for the occasion, but, you know, what are you going to do?
So right now we have all 7, as you mentioned, and it's it's a nice thing to go outside and see the planets overhead. You know, you got to really work to see the things off to the east with Saturn, Mercury, and Neptune right at sunset. Venus is nice and bright off in the east, and then overhead you get Jupiter and Mars that are very, very bright.
So when's the best time and what's the best way to try to see them all?
So you have to do it right at sunset, and you have to be able to see the eastern horizon very clearly because those 3 planets that are very close to the sun right now are pretty hard to catch. Mercury is always hard to catch because it orbits so close to the sun. And Saturn and Neptune just happen to line up that right there as well. And things like Neptune and Uranus, you'll need a telescope or binoculars to see. But other than that, you know, Venus and Jupiter and Mars should all be really bright and easy to pick off just with your eyes.
Or a pretty small amateur telescope at home, you will be able to see those as well.
Also adding in on the excitement, the moon could make a guest appearance.
Actually, tonight, a really, really skinny crescent moon will be between Saturn and Mercury.
Let's have a clear view of the western horizon, but what about the other planets?
Where are the other 3?
Yeah.
Well, Saturn is down really close to the sun, so that one's off limits. You can't see that. Uranus and Neptune are parked between Venus and Jupiter.
They are so far away, you can't see those unless you have a telescope.
We just found out the planets are aligning, so that'd be pretty cool to see.
A spectacular sight in the sky as 7 planets align, visible to the naked eye. According to NASA, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter and Saturn are visible without optical aid.
Sure, yeah, I could do some tricks if you want.
At Mission Trails Regional Park, I met Sebastian. He's biking from San Diego to New York City. He was unaware of the celestial event, but it captivated him, seeing it as a sign for his journey.
Well, I feel like I've been waiting a long time to go on this journey, and the fact that the planets are aligning for something like this is just incredible. So thank you.
Sorry, I'm gonna let it play through. But tell me he don't remind y'all of Forrest Gump when he was running across the country. You know what I'm saying? With the hair. Never mind. My bad. Let's keep going.
So much to the universe.
NASA says planet alignment isn't unusual, but states what makes these events special is the opportunity to observe multiple planets simultaneously without the aid of telescopes or binoculars.
It's a special time where you can see.
Maxwell Palau runs Stardude Astronomy, which showcases presentations and workshops on nighttime and astrophotography in Southern California. In case you missed it tonight, Maxwell shares the best time to see these planets.
For best viewing, you probably want to start just as the sun sets. That's when you're going to see Venus and Saturn just, pulling down just at the horizon, just following the sun.
Wendy Wing and Kristen McCormick stuck around after their hike once the sun set to witness the planets aligning in the sky.
I think it's really cool, especially since we're able to see it with our own eyes.
I think it's really interesting, and it's pretty cool that we have the opportunity to see it tonight.
Meantime, Maxwell explains when we could expect to see an event like this again.
Planetary alignments do happen. I mean, a full planetary alignment, the planetary parade, we're not going to have another one until 2040.
How is this like a rare phenomenon? Is this pretty common? How often does something like this happen with the planets aligning?
Yeah, I've been told that this is pretty rare, but it also helps to just think about why it's happening. And it's happening because of, if you can imagine in your head, the shape of our solar system. We have the sun in the center, and we have planets orbiting at different distances. But if you think about that model you have in your head, it's very flat. It's kind of a pancake shape. And so that does mean whenever we see the planets in the sky, they are going to appear in a line. And so astronomers have a name for that. That's called the ecliptic.
And when's the next time we'll see this many planets aligned and visible?
So in the fall, in August, what we'll be able to see again is the number of these planets lined up. But that'll actually be in the morning, so you have to be an early riser for that, which I'm not a big fan of.
Okay, so this one's for the night owls among us. I'm with you.
That's right,
Gerard. I'm with you.
Yep.
Gerard.
Okay, so if the planets are all in a line, if you're a superstitious type, is there anything we should be a little concerned or warned about?
I can see where people are coming from with this. Like, it doesn't happen often, and so maybe there are something in the stars, but really it's a happy coincidence and a very exciting time. Like, all the planets orbit around the sun at different speeds. You've got Mercury that takes 88 days or so. We take a year. Saturn takes 30 years. So when they're all aligned on the same side of the Earth for our night sky, is quite special, but nothing superstitious so much. Just good things to look at.
That is good to hear. I'm excited. I'm going to step outside tonight and look up.
Excellent.
Good on you. Thanks, Doctor.
All right, yes. So that's why I named this Parade Towards Salvation. And one thing about this 7 planetary alignment, a few months ago, I read an article and it said it will be easily seen from India. You know what I mean? And that kind of went together with a dream I had regarding planetary alignment and saying the Indians will be able to see it or something to that effect, right? It was years ago, but I saw that and I put 2 and 2 together and I said, this is an interesting time. So I'm excited, you know what I mean? What's going to happen, what is happening, you have the United States and Canada going to a trade war, which seems to escalate now. You have the mayor or governor of Ontario, I don't know, Providence, Ontario, I know it's not Trudeau, but whoever this guy's name, I think his name's Ford. He says he's going to cut off electricity to New York because they supply New York with some things. And also, he said, I'm going to do everything in my power to get back at you Americans because y'all trying to hurt my children. You know what I'm saying? He's taking it there. He said, y'all trying to mess up my kids. So, it's crazy how, at one point in time it was, oh, Canada, with the maple syrup and their hockey, and now it's a war going on between, it's a trade war, but, could it be hot? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? They booed the national anthem at the hockey game, and then opening, the very beginning of the game, they started fighting. You know what I'm saying? They had like 3 fights in the first 9 seconds or something. I don't know, something crazy. But yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive. Let's keep going. Let's go to Judges chapter 13, verse 21. All right, Judges 13, verse 21. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord, because as we understand, Genesis 19, Hebrews 13th chapter, these angels, they look like people. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much look like whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever they want. To my understanding, all right? That's Casadia saying that. But we do know that, we're made in the image and likeness of God, Elohim, God, the Most High God, his son, the only begotten son, Yahushua, and the angels. So they walking around, you thinking it's the regular dude and be a whole angel, right? So with that in mind, once you see them, you realize that, man, these angels, one angel killed, 185,000 Assyrians. They can get busy, you know what I'm saying? So, you see one, it's frightening. It is. It's very frightening. Okay, let's go to verse 22. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die because we have seen God. All right, let's go back to Luke 21. So, that will make you how can I put this? To understand that, to really fully engulf and understand what that means, it means you definitely want to fear the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? These angels, they can read your mind. They can disappear right in front of you. They can manipulate the elements. There's really nothing that they can't do. You know what I mean? As far as knowing the time when Yahushua comes back and certain other things. But for the most part, they're the most powerful thing we've ever seen, ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? I have plenty of reports that I read up on that explains, the moves they're making on planet Earth, and it's immense. It's a lot. But let's go to Luke 21, verse 26. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay, the rulership on this planet is going to be shaken. All right, let's get this next video. Now, I put this up last, I believe, Wednesday or Saturday. It was, I put it up, but it got immediately taken down. So, if you've seen it before, we're going to see it again. When here it go, right? And I want to talk about it. The elder wanted to talk about it too. And more than likely we'll do that as well. But I just want to show the video because I was the one filming the video. You know what I'm saying? And trust and believe, these ain't no planets or what's the word? Planets, stars, they're chariots, satellites, whatever, you know what I mean? The brain automatically goes to, no way, it can't be that. And that's really Americanized. But other countries, this is, they got them written on the walls and it's nothing new. But let's watch this part. And hopefully, and I don't know if this is the reason why, they might have took it down because of this. Because once we truly understand the power we have, which is ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, once we really engulf ourselves in these scriptures and stop playing around, you know what I mean? Stop joking. You know what I mean? Like, Brother Yatai always says, you know what I'm saying? You always walk around playing, you know what I'm saying? Once we really stop doing that and really like want to hit them where it hurts, you know what I'm saying? Then we will follow these law, statutes, commandments at the best of our ability to a T. You know what I'm saying? Of course, always gotta bring up we do slip, but not like the Christian version of slipping, like, I slipped, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? God knows my heart. Like that weak mind state, you know what I'm saying? We can get rid of that as Israelites and move accordingly. We'll be seeing chariots all the time. We'll be having interactions with angels. I won't say all the time with, seeing the chariots and interaction with angels, but enough where you get a message and that message is coming from a divine source. And you're not going to want to play around after that. You know what I mean? But let's watch the video.
For something. What are they looking for? That remains to be seen. And here's yet another airplane video. This video was taken by a civilian flying from Philadelphia to Fort Myers, Florida. Check this out. Video footage sent in by Chastia Laws. Taken.
My name isn't Chastia. Okay, let's start there. Okay, it's not my name. All right, it's Kasadi. Okay, and also I am a boy, Damon. Okay, he keeps saying she did this and she did that. Clearly a man. All right, so let's start there and we'll move on. Move forward.
At 35,000 feet out the window of an airplane. Look at that. I think this is what the pilots were seeing off the west coast of Oregon, right? But these things were more stationary. The objects that the pilots saw from the west coast of Oregon at around 35,000 feet, but they said the objects were up even higher at around 50,000 feet. These appear to be around 30, 35. The airplane's probably at cruising altitude, which is typically around 35, 39,000 feet. Either way, these things are well above the clouds, probably not visible from the ground. But notice how they appear to be either moving at the same exact speed as the airplane that she's on, or they're stationary. As you can see, they don't have any blinking lights. They don't appear to be moving. They may be, but it's just difficult to tell. There's 4 of them over there, not 3. There's the cloud cover. These things are way above the cloud cover. 1, 2, 3, and there's a 4th one right back there to the left. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, there's the 4th one. 2 there, and then 1 there. I mean, these things are seriously out of place. I mean, that's what compelled her to take the video. There might be another one right there. I don't know what that was. There was a brief flash right there, but you can clearly see 4 mysterious objects out the window of this airplane. Once again, flying from Philadelphia to Fort Myers. Not exactly sure where she was at when she noticed these things. There might be a 5th one right back there. See it? Great catch. And it reminded me of the incident involving the pilots along the west coast of Oregon. So more than likely the pilots themselves were filming these things because they were so obvious. I mean, if you were looking out the window, you couldn't miss them. And who knows, like the pilots along the west coast of Oregon that were in communication with the tower on the ground. These pilots may have been communicating with the tower down here in Fort Myers, asking if these things were possibly showing up on radar, because they definitely weren't behaving like airplanes, and they definitely weren't behaving like helicopters. Mysterious objects spotted out the window of an airplane at 35,000 feet.
Okay, so one thing we gotta understand is that, remember those mystery drones? You know what I'm saying? They talked about them a lot, and then they stopped talking about them. But come to find out, they're still all over the place. And then the planes were just falling out the sky. Put it like this, those things are going to continue to happen. Okay. And, it's going to be a point in time where somebody's going to see you with fringes and they'll say, can you ride on the plane with me? I'll give you $100,000. I got to go cross seas, or I got to go to California. I gotta go to this place. I go to that place, and I don't want my plane to crash. Can you please ride with me? Are you a law-abiding Israelite? I see the fringes. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to get that serious, okay? And it's going to be, and that's just one aspect of the holding on to our garments. Like, I heard God is with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because things are going to eventually be, put out there, okay? So, to make it there, you gotta follow God's laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight for it. You know what I mean? It's not easy. You know what I mean? We all fall, we all slip, but get up, stop with the excuses. You know what I'm saying? Blame yourself. You know what I mean? Knowing that, Satan got me. Yeah, but you're not ignorant of his devices. You know how he operates. You know how he knows you very well, from past experiences on this planet. All right. So when you start seeing that creeping up, that temptation, like Yahushua was saying, pray to fall out of temptation. Pray not to fall into temptation. You know what I mean? Make that a prayer. You know what I'm saying? That's important. Okay. So when it does happen, you can pivot, you can move away from it, instead of saying, up, nothing I can do, we all fall short, we all sin. That mind state isn't gonna make it to the kingdom. You know what I mean? Scratching and clawing is gonna make it into the kingdom. It says, the righteous shall scarcely be saved. You know what I'm saying? So make your election sure, okay? And count it all joy that you're still here. You know what I mean? Those chariots, the inhabitants of those chariots, they could freeze that plane in midair. They can hop on the plane without opening any doors. They can take anybody off, put anybody on. They could do whatever they want. You know what I mean? And they do. That does happen. You know what I mean? But just because people don't remember what happens, they assume that nothing's going on. But things are going on all the time. Okay. And if you want to have an interaction with an angel, ask the Most High. You know what I mean? If nothing happens, ask him again. You know what I mean? Like Luke 18, ask him again. But that visitation that you remember is crucial. You know what I mean? You might get a message. You more likely get a message. You know what I'm saying? And you want to make your election sure. So it's kind of like, how am I doing now? Because if you are saying, I want to see an angel, I want to see an angel, I want to see an angel, or have an experience, have a crazy mind-blowing experience. But you got a blunt rolled up, you got a belly full of pork, you just got finished getting off of Facebook and just destroying your brother or destroying your sister. I don't know if you really want to meet anybody, because that might be the last thing you do. Okay. That's like they know, Samson's parents knew, man, we just seen God. We're about to check. And then his wife said, hold on. Well, he did tell us some things, so maybe we good. Paraphrasing, obviously. And they were, right? So wanted to talk about that. We'll talk about it some more. I'm really gonna harp on that because that's what we should be doing. We should be following the law, statutes, commandments. We should be praying without ceasing. We should be meditating. Okay. Eating healthy, getting right, getting focused, and getting prepared for running the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Obviously underneath Yahushua and his father, and David, but running a kingdom nevertheless. You know what I'm saying? Making moves and being part of this thing of ours. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, let's go to Sirach 13, Slakia, Sirach 12 and 13. All right. All set. Let's do it. Sirach chapter 12, verse 13. Who will pity the charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such that come nigh wild beast? So if you're a snake charmer and you get bit, it's like, okay, isn't that your job? You know what I'm saying? Like you just sitting there playing around with a snake. Yeah, the snake bit you. You know what I'm saying? Um, or you see Esau walk up to a lion, go in the lion's den. You know what I'm saying? I think Eve went to the lion's den somewhere in New York. And I don't think anything happened to her, but I don't recommend that for anybody. You know what I mean? But you know, let's pick on Esau today. Esau going up to, you know, they do that too. I think they took this video down, but Esau was trying to take a picture of a shark, you know what I'm saying? Like in somewhere in the islands. So she's taking a picture of the shark, and the shark's like, you know, I'm a shark, right? I don't know if it came up out of water, but somehow bit off both her hands. I don't know what happened to the camera. You know what I'm saying? They didn't talk about that. But she had no hands after that. You know what I'm saying? So does anybody care? You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting close to a apex predator. You know what I mean? Nobody's messing with the sharks unless man uses a harpoon. But if man's swimming in the water with no weapon, they're done too. You know what I'm saying? So nobody cares. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. Nobody cares. And we'll get more. We'll go further into that. But until then, let's check out this next video.
Possible attempted cover-up. White woman arrested finally for fatally shooting her black boyfriend. I'm taking you to the state of Georgia. Put up the picture full mass. This is a hell of a story. Authority.
And I mean, come on, not for nothing, y'all. Look at her. You know what I'm saying? Look at both pictures, if you will. Ugh. You know what I'm saying? I'm not what's the word? Ugly shaming, but you know, she got beat with the ugly stick at an early age. And that thing just, you know what I mean? It was a constant whooping with that stick. Why is Jake always finding the most trash bag Edomites to be with? And not only is he with her, and you know, but he's downing Eve. Oh, y'all think I should be with? And this is Georgia too. So I mean, how much coonery and buffoonery can you get? You down south where you can see the plantations all around you, right? So you'll think that you have a little bit more pride in yourself and your, you know, ancestry. But anyway, he's destroying Eve, talking about, yeah, this white woman loves me and takes care of me and da-da-da, I don't need no black woman. Like, because of course, it's social media age, everything's online. So once something happens, people just go into your past. And he was talking hella reckless about the daughters of Zion. Okay. So with that in mind, let's continue on.
Authorities in Georgia have arrested Hannah Cobb, the girlfriend of 30-year-old Telvin Tellable Rackens Osborne, who they say shot him to death in the bedroom they shared early Sunday morning. Sheriff Alfonso Williams said Tuesday that Cobb, 25, has been charged with involuntary manslaughter. Okay? Cobb is being held at Burke County Jail, said the sheriff, who stressed that the shooting was not an accident. Now, I want you to remember involuntary manslaughter, all right? So the shooting occurred after, quote, both parties had been drinking, end quote, said Sheriff Williams, confirming the couple fought before the fatal bullet was shot. Cobb and Osborne lived together and had 2 children. Quote, the offenses committed leading up to the discharge of the firearm included simple battery, family violence, and reckless conduct. Sheriff said during a news conference on Tuesday, it is reckless to go out and get drunk and then introduce a firearm in an argument. It is reckless to engage in an argument where there's pushing and shoving going on. Let me contextualize simple battery. Let me contextualize. Simple battery is unwanted physical contact. Typically, simple battery does not mean assault. It's unwanted physical contact. It could be a shoulder bump. It could be as simple as a move your hand off of me. Things like that. That is simple battery. So I want to provide a contextualization that the sheriff is providing. Sheriff Williams said investigators worked the last 2 days interviewing friends, family members, and other witnesses before they, quote, were able to secure warrants and make an arrest in this case. Osborne worked at the Savannah River nuclear plant, investigators said, little until today, but Osborne's younger brother, Roderick Williams, pointed the finger at Cobb early on, alleging she shot his sibling while suggesting police were covering up for her because she is white. The sheriff's office said Cobb cooperated with the investigation. She notified authorities that Osborne had been shot. Online, speculation ran wild following a post from the brother who shared his thoughts on Facebook in a lengthy post about the investigation that had generated 744 shares at the time and 250 comments as of Monday evening. Quote, so Hannah Grace Cobb kills my brother, Terrible Racky, after leaving a club party, Roderick Williams alleged. Quote, she claims she went home and cleaned a damn gun and shot him in the head, he said. Anybody out there knows something doesn't sound right about that? Sheriff Williams has confirmed that Cobb was not cleaning her gun when the incident occurred. I understand frustration of the brother because this woman wasn't initially charged. She was able to proclaim this affirmative defense saying it was an accident until, as the sheriff said, they had to then talk with witnesses and talk with family members and secure an arrest warrant. Wait a minute. You have a dead person. You have a live shooter. What question do you need to incarcerate them? Now, the victim's brother goes on to ask why Cobb didn't put her gun on safety while cleaning it. Quote, it could have shot anybody, Roger Williams said. Who parties, gets drunk, and goes home in the middle of the night and cleans a gun? I mean, he's talking like a detective. The victim's brother asks why the sheriff's department had withheld this information from the news media. Quote, sorry, but I don't buy it. And she needs to be locked up. It's negligent to even consider cleaning a gun. If that's what happened, what if a child was there? You're cleaning a gun. You had to pull the trigger on the gun. So WTF, was your finger around the trigger? This is ridiculous. Once again, the young brother is providing the same level of investigative prowess we would expect from the law enforcement agency. So you're drunk, but you went home to clean a gun. You're intoxicated, but you're cleaning a gun. Is your gun always not on safety? Why was your finger around the trigger of the pistol? And then you're dealing with trajectory, aim, everything else. So Roderick Williams alleges a racist cover-up in subsequent post, writing, quote, Georgia headlines make sure to broadcast everything blacks do, but a white woman kills my brother, and I haven't seen anything online at all other than our grieving family shaking my head. By February 24th, Roderick Williams wrote that his sources have told him the house his brother shared with Ms. Cobb has never been set up as a crime scene, and if so, it wasn't one right after my brother was found dead there, meaning they did not secure it. So why didn't law enforcement feel the need to do so, he asked. Why didn't they contact the media immediately? They knew they needed to cover up for her actions.
Absolutely. Is Georgia, I mean, we could blame Georgia, but it's America. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter really where you go. But Georgia's something special, you know what I'm saying? With race relations goes. But you know, it's terrible what happened to the brother. At the same time, we gotta, understand there's a reason why the Most High says don't mess with him. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue on. Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him and his sins, who will pity? You know what I'm saying? Continue on. For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. Who knows what they were arguing about? They were at a club and they show a video, like a TikTok video. She's sitting there doing the gun, you know what I'm saying? Like, like it's a rap video. She's sitting there, and I think he was the one that was filming, right? So I don't know if that was her account or his account, and that would be, possibly like premeditated. Like, here, film this, I'm gonna put this on my TikTok. I'm gonna shoot this dude at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they were arguing about, escalated, and she shot him in the head, and then said, "Oh, I was cleaning my gun at what 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after the club." It doesn't make much sense, but as you see, the police was backing her, and her brother, I mean his brother, being inquisitive and writing on Facebook and everything, getting people involved in the story, made the police look again. You know what I mean? And we got another video coming up regarding that as well. So it's important, as a nation, we come together, a nation not desired. You know what I'm saying? Because they could pick off one of us. If a sheep's going by itself, the wolf goes and gets that sheep. You know what I'm saying? But as a group, it's more difficult for them to do that. And if and when something does happen, you got people that will have your back and not let it just fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Like Trayvon Martin, when he got killed by George Zimmerman, it took protests. It took, the basketball NBA was wearing hoods and saying, "Am I a thug?" and all this other stuff. So, they finally was like, "Oh my goodness, niggas won't shut up. Fine, we'll charge him." Of course, he got off, and she'll probably get off, but still it brings light to the situation. And, maybe Jake will realize that we're behind enemy lines. Let's continue. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find an opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And it always go back to, being at camp, and I'll see Esau walking down the street or whatever, and I say, "Yo, Esau, let me ask you a question. How many bodies you got in your basement right now? How many prostitutes you got chained to a pipe down in your basement?" You'd be like, "Ha ha ha ha. Who told you?" You know what I'm saying? Like that, they ain't saying who told you, but it's kind of like, "Hey, oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's a joke, right? You're not a cop, are you?" You know what I mean? Because they're all like, "Yeah, okay, I killed a couple people in college, and that's Esau. That's what he does. That's what he does best. Go back to that. He was a teenager, right? This body camera footage, police pulling up to this, looked like a ranch. The mom called the cops because they found a severed head and hands in this kid's bedroom. So the cop comes up like, "Hey, Jenny, let me talk to you." He's like, "Okay. So your mom said, seen some things in your bedroom?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "So what is it?" "It's a head and some hands." Like, what do you mean? Like, "Oh, I found some pot in your bed." You know what I mean? I found an empty beer can. No, this teenager had a head and hands. And he's like, "So whose are they?" He's like, his name is, I can't think of the guy's name, but it's such and such, such and such. It's a homeless guy found, the guy that was missing on the news. Like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm okay." They're talking all nonchalantly. This guy just murdered somebody. If that was Jake, he would have been beat up, tased, and then shot with his hands behind his back. And he's like, oh, I finally got him. You know what I mean? But they're talking all nonchalantly. Because the cop probably like, yeah, you know, I killed a couple guys in college too, man. You know what I mean? No big deal, right? You know? So he was like, why'd you do it? I just wanted to see what it felt like to kill somebody. What? That's not a reason to kill somebody. What are you, psychopath? But that is Esau. You know what I'm saying? So, and he saw Esau and she saw they're the same people. This one's a male and one's a female. You know what I mean? She's probably sitting there in the back of her mind for how long planning I'm going to kill this guy. He's thinking like, she loves me. I got my little white girl here, and you know, all you black girls need to stay away from me because I got a good one right here. And she's like, man, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head one day. And she did it. All right. So, you know, sweetly with the lips, you know, I love you and this, that, and the third, but as soon as she get opportunity, she took it. Okay. So with you know, some of these stories are a bit it's a bit much, okay? The stories are a bit much, but it still goes with the name of the lesson, parade towards salvation. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is clearing things out. You know what I mean? We just gotta put our best foot forward, and hopefully we won't get cleared out. You know what I'm saying? Or we might, because the scriptures say, like, you know, like the scriptures say, you know, we gotta our ancestors saying like, how long, Lord, how long? He's like, it's a little while until, you know, some of your brothers that gotta get killed, or you know, Israelites that have to get killed are gonna get, you know, killed as well. All right. Khan. So look at this. The Air Force fighter jet drops 8 bombs. What? On a residential area in Saul. When we was talking about planes, the plane didn't fall out of the sky, but bombs did. They just started bombing the neighborhood in Saul, South Carolina. I'm tripping. South Korea. You know, they ran up and got Baruch, and now they bombing themselves. Oh no! Oh, so sorry, so sorry. How do you apologize? You just bombed my house. Like, you just bombed my whole neighborhood. 8 bombs? What happened after the 3rd bomb? Did you not realize you're dropping bombs on the neighborhood? Like, a couple more bombs. So, that's funny. Or, how about Shema Shah press the button? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's very difficult to blow up a residential neighborhood unless, you know, you got an angel riding in the cockpit that's pressing buttons as well. Something to think about. Yes. Let's continue. All right. So, good times. Let's continue on. Now this story, terrible story. We just gotta know where we're at. You know what I mean? We gotta know where we're at. Okay, so let's get Deuteronomy 28, verse 29. Now, I saw the whole video. I don't say the whole video because, well, let me start with this. This is a story about, it was a brother that it seemed like he was arguing with, it looked like Shesaw. You know what I'm saying? Shesaw probably said something smart. She looked like she was coming out of a club, more likely drunk, high, pilled up, snorted up, whatever. And she's giving Jake a hard time. They don't show the video in this, in what we're about to see. And I don't think they probably put a stamp of disapproval on this video anyway if I did show it. But he's talking and he's like kind of nonchalantly like, yeah, all right, whatever. I don't know what you talking about, this, that, and the third. So he's probably just like engaging to the point where I don't care what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like that. But here go Esau. He's saving his woman. Goes and steals on the bull, right? And, you know, staggers him a little bit. But Jake is, I don't care how, dude was skinny, you know what I'm saying? Little guy, kind of, you know what I mean? He's like 25, 26. But Jake is a beast, if you will, pardon the expression, when it comes to these hands. You know what I'm saying? You get boom, hit him, something good. Started piecing up Esau. Esau fell, cracked his head open. He dies, and now Jake is charged, even though the bull hit him first. So this is we understand where we at and pick our battles wisely. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that wants to argue with you isn't on your level. So why are you arguing back? You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at them like, do you even wash your legs, Esau? You know what I'm saying? Did you have bath day today since you went to the club? You know, we went to Detroit, seen Esau come up, or she saw come up, kissed our boots and everything. That was on Friday. We seen the same Edomite Saturday. She was wearing the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? At the club. So it's not like, oh, she's doing bad. You know what I mean? You know, she might be down on her hard luck. You know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? As far as, homelessness goes, you might have to wear your clothes over again. It's not nothing to make fun of. But when you go into the club on Friday and Saturday wearing the same damn thing, like, did you even take a shower? Is today bath day, woman? Nah. So people that don't take baths or, eat fruit and vegetables, you should not argue with them, okay? Deuteronomy 28, verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save you. So who you call? The cops? That's not gonna work. Okay. We gotta follow these laws, statutes, commandments, and not even be in these situations. I don't know why he was there or if he was at the club. He didn't look like he was wearing club material or, like he was walking by and somebody might have said something smart. So we just got to control ourselves to the best of our ability. I know it could be difficult because you don't want to walk down the street and somebody say something to you, you ignore them and they punch you in the back of the head. You know what I mean? But we got to choose our battles wisely.
A black male defends himself, but he is, charged. Put up the picture for him, man. I got a story to tell you. Trevor Moses. Trevor is 25 years of age. Trevor was arrested on the 6th of February and charged with second-degree battery after witnesses identified him in the January 26th surveillance video altercation between him and a 43-year-old Christopher J. Temple. Mr. Temple later died from his injuries. The video of the encounter shows Mr. Temple sneaking up on the young Mr. Trevor Moses. What you see here in the video, we have the still of the shot. This is the moment Mr. Temple, this is Christopher Temple, is seen sneaking up behind the 26-year-old Mr. Moses and throwing the first punch, okay? He threw the first punch. There is absolutely no ambiguity about what happened. None. All the witnesses saw it. Surveillance caught it. The man threw the first punch. Snuck him. Is what happened. Put it up. Now, a video screenshot shows Christopher Temple on the left and Trevor Moses before the encounter, okay? You clearly see it. Despite being snuck, despite being hit, punched, off guard, somehow Moses fought back and gained the upper hand. Punched a taller man in the face, which ended up knocking him out cold, causing him to fall, strike his head on the concrete. This is what the witnesses told the police. Police said last week that surveillance footage from the Real-Time Crime Center supported witness accounts of the incident. That's according to station KTBS. However, video of the brawl taken from news reports and circulating widely on social media only reveals the moment when Temple delivered a crushing blow to the side of Moses' head, sparking a brutal fistfight in front of at least 24 witnesses. The bare-knuckle brawl resulted in the injury that ultimately caused Mr. Temple's death. However, the video does not show this exact moment, and it's not clear if this footage even exists. Atlanta Black Star was not able to pinpoint the purported tape of the second half of the altercation. Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith and Corporal Chris Bordelon both viewed the entire video and afterwards said Temple may have instigated his own fate, according to KSLA News 12. Quote, "We're very aware of what the public is saying. Obviously, this is a complicated matter," the corporal said. The corporal confirmed the segment of the footage that showed Temple throwing the first punch and striking Moses, leading many online observers to say that Moses was justified to retaliate with a haymaker of his own. However, Moses was arrested a few days after the fight on charges of second-degree battery and released on bail. At that point, Temple was still alive. He underwent surgery before being transferred to the Carpenter's House Hospice, where he unfortunately died on the 15th of February. Authorities are now unofficially calling Temple's death a homicide, as detectives are currently working with the Cottle Parish District Attorney's Office to assess whether murder charges will be filed against Moses.
So let's get Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 17. You said, unfortunately, he passed away. Says, see, you know, yeah. Anyway, they ain't too unfortunate to me. Now, going back, just new information, right, about the previous case with the she saw shooting Jake in the head after the party or whatever. He said he would sleep with a dog before he dated a black woman. I mean, wow. That's a lot of hate, you know what I mean? Ain't your mama black? You know? But it's like that self-hate. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Eve out of order is really like terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's really terrible. She's hard as nails, she's masculine, you know what I mean? She what you got, what can you give me? And you know, date me, you date my kid, you know, like listen. I get that, right? But I don't it ain't that deep, you know what I'm saying? Because Eve, when she is in order, when she is embracing her femininity, you know, femininity, if that's the word, when she's following the law, statutes, commandments, and calling her husband Lord, you know what I mean? All that beautiful things, then man, she's top notch. You know, Daughter of Zion is beautiful. Maybe he didn't run into a woman like that, or maybe he wasn't looking because he said he would sleep with a dog. Just saying that is kind of off, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and Esau is the dog. That's a good one. Slocky. You know what I mean? No, she was sweating in that club, smelling like a damn Rottweiler, man. Or not Rottweiler, Shaggy. You know? So he got his dog, and his dog killed him. Damn. Dog mauled him. All right. Slocky. Lamentations 4 and 17. For as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. This guy gets assaulted, retaliates. You know, I'm not gonna say retaliates. He's defending himself. You know what I mean? Immediately, he didn't have to go home and get the gun and come back with a bat or whatever. He's a little dazed and confused. He's got, you know, I'll show you how weak Esau is. You got a whole, you know, you can wind up and see how strong Jake is. And he took that joint, ate it, came back, bing, bing. Put him out, put him to sleep. That was the last thing, whatever that guy's name, Temple, that's the last thing. Then he got hit in his temple. Bang! That's the last thing Temple did in his life. So they had to sit there at the funeral and in the obituary. He was a good man. He shouldn't have messed with these niggas, though. He never really could fight. You know what I mean? They sitting there at the repast, like, man, I remember he used to get beat up all the time by Negroes back in the day. So he probably thought he got older, he might have got stronger and they got weaker. That's not what happened, Temple. You know, you got them beer muscles in them, you know what I mean? Threw a punch. Jake ate that and literally killed him. You know what I'm saying? Jake got a body on him. But what happened? He gets charged and might get charged with murder charges. You know what I'm saying? So and not for nothing, I'm trying to give scenarios. I'm not victim blaming, right? But I'm trying to give scenarios where, you know, it's best to walk away, it's best to not engage, it's best to do this, best to do that. But in some situations, the Most High puts you in that situation where there's nowhere you can go. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be a result of what you have done and or what you haven't done, as opposed to following, as in conjunction with following the law, statutes, commandments, and the scriptures. So he put you in a terrible situation where you might have murder charges of the stuff you haven't done in your life, you know? So we got to be understood that this is America. This is where we're at. Nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? And these stories, if it wasn't for this platform and or social media, we wouldn't know about it. It's been happening forever. It continues to happen. All right. He got his dog. All right, let's continue on. All right, let's get Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. No folly. No folly. She looked like a dog too. I mean, come on, Jake. It's terrible. But everybody can't make it, you know. Let's just hope that we can, you know what I mean? And you know, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but if you check, I check, you know what I mean? Just like Abel, he had an ear to the Most High, you know what I mean? He's like, the blood of your brother is crying out for me from the grave. So, you know, that's legit. We're gonna have a close proximity, Most High willing, to the Most High God. And then in the spirit world, can really turn up. Okay, so death ain't the end. It'll be a new beginning. So we're not gonna be afraid, right? Donald Trump's gonna kill us and all this other stuff. Listen, be afraid of the person that can kill your body and your soul. All right. Nobody's scared of Donald Trump or his little proud girls and oath-keeping weirdos and all that other stuff. Let's continue on. Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Esau is a killer. This is what he does. He just kills. And look at this story. This is a crazy story as well. You know what I mean? Let's watch.
Also new, it's a Houston family is mourning the loss of a lifestyle blogger who police say was murdered while visiting her mother-in-law in Maine. ABC 13's Alex Bozarjian joins us live tonight. And Alex, police say her husband killed her.
Right. And what makes this so sad is family says Margot Whitmore and her husband Samuel had only been married since September. They were newlyweds. They say Margot seemed happy. She was a yoga instructor and she was thriving creatively. And they say that Samuel was a graduate of MIT and a former engineer. So what went wrong here? The family is desperate to figure that out.
So she's a yoga instructor, right? So she's into the standing dog pose and the cricket pose and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? The Krishna pose and all that stuff. So first off, that's off. You can stretch, but you know what I mean? If you're stretching in the name of Elamite deities, ain't gonna end well, okay? And they're saying, oh, he graduated from MIT and was a former engineer. So, I mean, he wasn't working? Like, what does that mean? You know, he's a former engineer and now he's unemployed. you know, they put it out there like it's a big deal. So all I see there is he graduated from MIT with a lot of student loans and was an engineer and isn't any longer. So he's in, you know, he's in a bad space, you know. But they try to make it seem like, you know, oh, he went to MIT and was a former engineer. Oh, back up. You said former? I mean, I was a former, I don't want to lie. No, it wasn't. But you know what I mean? Like, who cares what you did former? What are you doing now? Let's continue.
She was there to inspire people.
Much of Margot Whitmore's Instagram feed was picture perfect. At a young age, she caught the travel bug, and her cousin, Roger Risley, was often there for the ride.
I feel like I lost myself in a sense because that's how close we were.
Margot was from France, but her grandparents and Risley live here in Houston. Risley says Margot had recently moved to Belfast, Maine, where she started a life with her husband, Samuel Whitmore.
Sam, I don't know much about his history. I never got the opportunity to actually meet him.
On February 19th, authorities say Margot was at her in-laws when things went horribly wrong. Belfast police say when they responded, Margot was dead outside the home and Whitmore's mother was inside with critical injuries.
Go from 0 to 100 like that, that's the biggest question for all of us. That it's just mind-boggling.
It's not mind-boggling. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Edomite children, how they treat their mom, Mom, stop being such a bitch. Stop being such an itch. You know what I'm saying? I hate you. I hate your effing face, Mom. Kid's like 5, 6 years old. Like, yo, somebody need to discipline that kid. Oh, Johnny, you don't mean that. Shut up, Mom. Start throwing stuff at their mom. So it just kind of escalates. You know what I'm saying? So this dude loses it, kills his mom. And then, you know what I mean? Like, she probably looking like, what in the world is going on? You talk to your mama like that? You know? And I don't think they see, and she was found like outside or something. She probably tried to run, didn't get far.
That, you know, you would think there would be signs.
In photos posted to Instagram, the couple looks happy. And according to Risley, none of...
All right. I'm gonna stop pausing it, but let's just be honest, okay? Instagram, Facebook, all that is fake. You know what I mean? Like they you could just be fighting, you know what I'm saying? And then like, okay, let's take a picture. Everybody smiles, and then start cussing each other out again. I seen that in it was like a basketball game where they were just sitting there like, you know, it was a couple sitting there. I think they're arguing or just looked angry and like, I can't stand you, I can't stand you. And then it came on like the dance cam or whatever, and like, oh, okay, yeah, or kiss cam and I love you, da, da, da. And then it went off, but somebody's still filming it, and they're like, all right, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? It's so fake, man. We live in a fake world. This society is so phony. You know what I'm saying? There's like, ain't too many real ones out here. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you know. Hopefully you're a real one, you know what I mean? But if you're not, get yourself together, you know what I'm saying? People can see right through you, okay? You know what I mean? Just be honest with yourself, be honest with others, and you know, all that fake stuff is most high willing to be a thing of the past.
Margot's friends saw the warning signs either.
Doesn't change the outcome, but maybe if we can get a picture of those moments leading up to or those days or what, I don't know.
Police say Whitmore took off after the alleged murder and was arrested shortly after. He did make his initial court appearance Friday, but was ordered to undergo a competency evaluation.
Look at that picture. Look, it's just, I mean, come on. I mean, look at this. What? I don't get it. You know what I mean? But the thing is, check this out, right? In Maine, I mean, not just Maine, but United States, oh, now he's crazy? Why? Because he killed his mom and shot his wife? That happens every day. You know what I mean? But Esau always get the benefit of the doubt. Like, oh, he's hearing voices. He's multiple personalities. Da, da, da. But that was Jake. They're like, okay, you have multiple personalities. So all your personalities are going to prison. Do you know what I'm saying? You're hearing voices. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to start hearing guilty and bars closing behind you. They don't care to find out why somebody, you know, Jake did what he did, or, you know, he has trauma and problems and all this other stuff. But Esau, the cunning hunter, hunted down his wife, killed his son, or he hunted down his wife and shot his mother. His mother critically injured. They didn't say she died. He gets the benefit of the doubt. Let's continue.
Evaluation before criminal proceedings can resume. Risley says despite her brutal end, he will forever celebrate Margot for living her life to the fullest.
Let's see her again. I have to, you know, like that energy just doesn't disappear.
Risley says he's working with other family members to get Margot's body back to France so her mother can bury her. Live in Southwest Houston.
You're talking about that energy doesn't go anywhere. So I'm sure he's a yoga instructor too. You know, but anyway. So Esau's destroying themselves, but guess what? It's smoke for everybody at this point. You know what I mean? The Most High said judgment's going to happen, begin with the house of God. So, you know, I'm always voting for Jake, regardless. If I'm watching a game show and there's one Jake on there and two Edomite and Elam or whatever, I'm like, come on, Jake, you can do it. You know what I mean? But we're gonna be honest, it's Jake is off as well, and Jake's gonna get judged as well. You know what I'm saying? Let's get St. Matthew, St. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. All right, Matthew 10, verse 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. All right, not my Jesus. Yes, you're Jesus. You know, because last time he was here, people killed him. You know, so with that in mind, it's a vengeance tour. Look at this.
Journey here unfathomable. In less than a 24-hour span, two mothers killed allegedly by a romantic partner. One in Chicago, one here in Indiana. Both of those moms each having 3 children. In this case, the 3 kids died as well.
Oh, God. I mean, you know, it rips your heart out. It rips your heart out. Just, I mean, absolutely rips your heart out.
Police were on scene for hours. The Lake County coroner later identifying the victims as a mother, 27-year-old Brianna Payne, and her 3 daughters, 7-year-old Aurora, 6-year-old Ava, and 4-year-old Elena, all shot to death. How long have you lived over here?
Like 23 years. Yeah.
Wouldn't have never imagined you would have seen something like this.
No. You wouldn't even think you'd hear him about it.
Lake Station police responded for a well-being check. What led up to the shooting, unknown at this time. It happened just before 3 p.m. Friday. The mobile home is a part of the Mansard Dulek community along East 10th Avenue in Lake Station, Indiana.
We've heard, you know, like an occasional argument, but it would never seem like it would be anything that would escalate to this.
Have the police ever been called before? You seen the police in and out of the home?
No. No, I haven't seen the cops around, not for them at least.
Inside, police also discovered 31-year-old husband and father Robert Payne. Authorities say he died from suicide. The tragedy comes hours after 33-year-old Tiana Jones was found stabbed to death at 71st and Eberhard. Jones's 2 sons were stabbed multiple times and kidnapped. They're now recovering. Her youngest son's father, 39-year-old Marcus Bowsley, now in custody.
I still can't believe that she's gone. I can't believe her children are motherless.
Saturday afternoon, the Indiana family's front door now boarded up. A bike, skates, and the kids' playground left idle. When you remember these little girls and the mom tonight, what should the world know about them?
They were good. I mean, the moms seemed real nice. The kids were just always bright and say hi every time, you know, like if you walked by or strode by or something, they'd wave.
And a prayer vigil for Tiana Jones will be taking place on Sunday at 1 o'clock at 71st and Eberhard. Of course, we cannot share tragedies like this without providing some resources on your screen. Right now, a number for the National Domestic Violence Hotline, the number 800-799-7233.
Yeah, so Jake, man, listen. Just leave, man. You know what I mean? Get a hotel room. When I say leave, mean like separate. If something's getting tense like that and you feel yourself bubbling up and I don't know if I can control myself, leave. Leave well a day, a couple days, a week, you know what I mean, to get yourself together to not crash out and kill your whole family and yourself. You know what I mean? You got to really learn how to control your emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's not and not always go to violence and a gun. There's other ways to handle situations. You know what I mean? And but let's continue on. Verse 35. For I'm come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. So knowing this, learn to, you know, deal with situations other than that. You know what I mean? And some situations where Eve is snapped and, you know, done away with her children and husband and all that as well. But a lot of the times it's it's the men. Okay. Let's continue on. And, you know, talk to somebody, counseling, you know what I'm saying? You know, alcohol and drugs do not mix when it comes to emotions, you know what I'm saying? And you feel like you're falling apart because this is the time period we living in. This is a time where people are falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Money's getting low, getting scarce. You can see a whole bunch of, you know, the collapse on TV, you know what I mean, from Trump administration and, you know what I mean, Doge might have, you know, got one of them dudes fired or something like that. Now they ain't got no job and can't pay their bills. Things are going bad for people. So with that in mind, okay, learn to control yourself. You know what I mean? As Israelites, reading the scriptures, take a walk, you know what I mean? Put the Bible on the audio Bible, meditate, pray to the Most High God, call one of your brothers up. You know what I mean? You have options, okay? Utilize your options. Don't let things like this happen to you, okay? All right, let's continue on. So it gets, you know, it gets crazy. Let's go to Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Matter of fact, yeah, Amos 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? And we gotta keep in mind that you know, these things, the Most High have wrote these warrants, these death warrants out. All right. And this guy, Chicago, goodness gracious, dude was a serial killer. Let's watch it.
21-year-old man already in custody for murder and other charges is now accused in 5 additional murders. Chicago police say all of those happened in the same year. The suspect at the time, just a teenager.
WJN's Courtney Spinelli is live at Public Safety Headquarters with new details here. Courtney?
Micah and Ray, for close to 5 years, the families of 4 victims killed and countless others impacted have been waiting for justice. They're now learning it's believed the same person is responsible for gunning down their loved ones, all at random.
It's like reliving everything all over again from day one.
The unimaginable call no mother ever expects is the one Noemi Cosio received back in 2020. Nearly 5 years later, her family is among 4 others, now learning an alleged serial gunman is believed to have pulled the trigger.
There is no reason, absolutely none, why my son is not here with us today. And why the rest of the victims are not with their mothers, with their families, with their loved ones.
Antonio Reyes, now 21, was just 16 and 17 at the time he allegedly killed 6 people, including Noemi's 21-year-old son, Claudio Cosillo. Investigators say the murder spree happened over a 9-month period from March 2020 to November 2020. Reyes has been in custody since the end of that year, but until now was only charged in 1 of the 6 killings. He faces 5 new murder charges and 4 attempted murder charges related to surviving victims at those same scenes.
It's difficult to comprehend how anyone could easily take someone's life, and especially so many, in 1 year.
He should have been here.
Cosillo was a father, a UPS worker, and a man whose family says had no enemies. He was gunned down as he waited in his car to pick up a friend to play basketball in the 4100 block of South Sacramento on April 5th, 2020. His story, one of at least 6, where the victims were doing nothing but living their lives when they were violently ripped away.
Another victim's only crime was taking his family to buy a new puppy one afternoon. He was shot and severely wounded in front of his 3 children, and he succumbed to his injuries months later.
Investigators say they used ballistics to help connect a recovered .40 caliber handgun to some of the crimes. They also pieced together Reyes's alleged involvement using his social media, cooperation from witnesses, digital and other evidence. The motive for his shooting spree, still a mystery.
None of these people had ever met Antonio Reyes before, and there's no reason to suspect Antonio Reyes had any reason to target them. But that's exactly what he did.
As the process of justice is just now beginning for families whose grief will never go away, Noemi says she's relieved to know the person allegedly responsible is off the streets.
Seeing so many mothers in pain. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And it's a wound that will never heal. I will never stop crying for my son.
Now, Reyes is no stranger to the criminal justice system. He's also accused of trying to kill his cellmate with a shank that was made from a construction nail. And he's also accused in another shooting where a victim was left seriously wounded on Thanksgiving in 2020, just shortly before his initial arrest in that first murder charge. He'll be back in court on March 18th. For now, live outside of police headquarters, Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
We have new information.
Okay. Yeah, that guy was used as a death angel, man. Just going around just shooting people. He's like 16, but it's starting to get less less of a surprise when it comes to like violent teenagers. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Depending on how was he raised? Was he raised with anger, violence in his house? Seeing, if you watch cartoons, you're constantly seeing people get destroyed in the cartoons. You're watching TV, you might be watching the commercials of a movie and you see like 5 people get killed like that. It's a very violent world we live in, you know what I'm saying? And they don't really try to do anything about it. You know what I mean? So if if children are being raised to just go about their own business and he'll figure it out and everything like that, that in itself could be raising a monster. But then if violence is something that he sees on a daily basis, whether it be in the house, outside, or whatever, that could be a entranceway into demonic realms of something like that, like you shooting people for no reason. That's something, somebody's in your ear like a demon, you know what I mean, saying, yo, go do this, go do that. And I met enough people that through my work, I met enough people that that's legit, they're really hearing things and seeing things that we can't see, and in the point he's trying to kill his cellmate. So he's gonna have to have his own cell, put him in a padded room or whatever, but he's never getting out of jail because he killed like 6 people, But and that's why we ask the Most High to protect us and watch over us. You don't run into some random person you never met, seen before, and he just pulls out a gun and shoots you. That's why we ask the Most High to have mercy on us and have the angels protected around us when we pray. Okay, and we're gonna continue to ask for that. Okay. Let's continue on. Slakia. Now this story. Eve gone with the wind. Let's get Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 2. So, parade to salvation. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, that's supposed to be a happy thing. But in order to get where we want to go, the Most High is going to continue to do what he's doing, and it's going to increase. So we can't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness, what is going on? It's the end of the world, y'all. You know what I mean? Embrace it and act accordingly. Okay. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 2. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. Treasures of wickedness. Now look at Eve. Got a job, stealing at her job, but they say she's the dumbest criminal, world's dumbest criminal. Tell me what you think.
We have new information on that Whataburger worker accused of stealing a customer's credit card info to pay her court funds. Police have given her a week to turn herself in, but they learned she has since fled the state. As Fox 5's Doug Evans reports, since her story hit the news, she wants a second chance to surrender.
Sonoy police tell me that 25-year-old Alifa Sumter wants a do-over when it comes to turning herself in. The internet has already dubbed the Whataburger worker one of the dumbest criminals after she allegedly used stolen credit card information from a drive-through customer to pay her own court fines. Police say back in January, Sumter was working the drive-thru at this Noonan Whataburger. A customer reported to Sonoy police that his credit card information was used to pay $400 in fines at the Coweta County State Court Probation Office. Investigators say they simply searched whose fines got paid. They say it was Sumter, and her info revealed she worked at Whataburger. They asked the victim if he'd been to the burger joint. They say he said yes, he had. And he later picked her out of a lineup. Coweta County took out a warrant for probation violation. Sonoy police took out felony warrants for identity theft and credit card fraud. Keep in mind, Sumter's probation was just for misdemeanor pot possession, so things have escalated significantly. Authorities gave her until Friday to turn herself in, but they say she didn't. On Monday, they learned she'd skipped the state. After her story appeared on Fox 5 and on social media, seemingly everywhere, police say she contacted them, asking to turn herself in on Wednesday.
She's taken quite a hammering on social media. She made a mistake. She's not an awful person, but obviously made a bad mistake, and hopefully she'll learn from it and move on. Am I confident she's going to turn herself in? No, but we'll see.
Police say they have good reason to be skeptical, but they say they also don't mind giving her another chance to do the right thing. In Sonoy, Doug Evans.
Okay, so Eve she's at work. She has a job. So she's getting a paycheck, right? I don't know how much they're paying at Whataburger, but I mean, if you can make a deal with your probation officer and, you know, get you a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there, I don't know. You know what I mean? But, you know, they understand that, you know, only got a certain amount of money, but you just don't want to steal somebody's credit card to pay your fees for probation. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you don't want to do that. Hold on, whose credit card is this? Oh, that's my friend. No, you don't do that, Eve. You know what I'm saying? Obviously it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out this person who paid the you know what I mean, somebody at the credit card statement, $400. Who paid that $400 to what? What was it for? Somebody's probation. Well, who paid probation? Oh, this young lady. Where did you use your credit card at? At Whataburger. She works there. It didn't take that. It wasn't difficult. She might have been high while she was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Misdemeanor pot possession. I thought pot was legal everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Don't they have stores where you can go in and get your pot? And they probably have like vending machines where you can put them $20 in and get pot from the vending machine because it's all like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of states say that, you know, recreation or medical marijuana, so they're still arresting people for pot, you know, but you understand that's happening to us, meaning, so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. You still ain't got to worry about none of that because you can actually walk in the store and buy it, but I was under the assumption that it has to be a certain amount, like over an ounce or something. Then you get like a fine or something like that. Maybe that was her fine. I don't know, but they're still making money off of this alleged war on drugs. But even make it easy for, it made it easy for them. But let's get Leviticus 19 and 11. You can't steal though. You can't steal. You got a job. It's not like you're not working. Save up your money, But what are you gonna do? Leviticus 19 and verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. So this is the law. So now she fled the county, state, I don't know. But then once you have, you go across state lines and stuff like that, then you start getting into a whole nother situation where you're trying to flee from apprehension, or apprehension, something like that. You're trying to flee. You're fleeing and abetting the law, or I know I messed up both of those words. Either way, even though it's a small thing for $400, it's somebody else's $400, and now it's just escalating because now it's like credit card fraud, and now you leaving the state or leaving the county or whatever they said, so you trying not to get caught. So she's felony. There's felony stuff now. You know what I mean? So not the sharpest tack in the tack box. Let's continue on. Let's go to Judith 16 and verse 17. All right, the next story, down in the Carolinas, fire. All right, fire all over the place. Let's get that. Judith chapter 16, verse 17. Woe to the nations that rise up against my kindred. The Lord Almighty will take vengeance of them in the day of judgment, in putting fire and worms in their flesh, and they shall feel them and weep forever. So prequel to judgment, but the day of judgment of all these nuclear missiles coming in these places in the Carolinas, it seems like there's fires all over the whole state, But here's one video that pretty much went viral because they're trying to put it out, but at the same time, it is engulfed in the background. I think they looped the video. That looks pretty crazy. That's like apocalyptic. And yeah, they just keep looping it. But Pennsylvania, they're saying that, the lack of rain, lack of moisture, lack of snow during the winter. It snowed like 2 times, is like a half an inch of snow, nothing crazy. So, that the snow is supposed to go on the mountains and supposed to melt during the spring and go down and water all the plants and stuff like that. That just, the cycles haven't been happening. Most High is destroying this place. So when we're at Feast of Tabernacles, they're like, make sure you put your fire out because this stuff will light up. You know what I mean? So, well, Jersey has some fires. Pennsylvania had a fire that I remember, and I don't think that it's not over. You know what I mean? The Most High is definitely taking the moisture out of the foliage and the trees and everything like that for a reason. So we can expect more of, of that, you know what I mean? And there's so much going on. Trump's, with his tariffs all over the world, tariffs against China, tariffs against Canada, tariffs against Mexico. Then he's doing what he's saying, oh, Biden doesn't care about these people, Biden this and Biden that. But what are you doing for the Carolinas? Nothing. Even in his speech, though, if I'm not mistaken, he says something about oil. That's liquid gold, that's what we need, and we need to tap resources. South Carolina has some resources. And start thinking like, you talking about the gold in South Carolina is burning right now. Did you burn South Carolina, Donald Trump? I guess time will tell, you know what I mean? Because he's talking about drilling while there's fires occurring right now. Terrible person he is. It's Esau. All right, couple more, y'all. Couple more. So this next story is about a rapper down there in Texas, Little Ronnie, I believe. And one thing about rappers, right? I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. I'm gonna get off real quick. Like, after you get a certain age and you're like 6'4", you're like 25, 30 years old, when do you stop being little? Little Wayne, little baby, like, y'all not little. You know what I'm saying? Little this, little that. It kind of keeps us in a real childlike state. Like I can do whatever I want because I'm a child. You're not though. Y'all grown. You know what I'm saying? You were old enough to go to war. You can buy cigarettes and alcohol. Like so you can drive. You're not little. You know what I'm saying? You were little. Maybe it was little Ronnie back in, 5th grade or something like that. But after a while, you got to just be Ronnie. But all right, I'm off my soapbox now. I don't like when rappers call themselves little because it makes us seem like children. You know what I mean? Like Jake is like the child. Like, oh, I gotta go to the crib. You know what I mean? You go to the crib, you little this, you little that. You got your people. There was one point in time where 3 6 Mafia and them were walking around with baby bottles that had syrup and had lean in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this. Hopefully this is Esau making them dudes do this, but I don't know. Anyway, I checked this dude's lyrics out. Terrible, drugs, guns, robbery, all that stuff. Hopping out with the switches. And what happens to him? Hopped out with the switch with his daughter. You know what I mean? Like dudes be making this music and calling on death to come to him and talking about, I don't know if he was a drill rapper though, but I seen one video. I don't know if he was a drill rapper, but you pretty much calling death to you. But then you not the one that die. You know what I mean? It be times where it just be the child that dies, or you with your mother, you with, you know what I mean, your lady or something like that. And things transpire. And nobody's following the law, statute, commandments. So you definitely open to this type of violence. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are like, we gotta find out who did it. And this is crazy because of course the 5-year-old died. You know what I mean? But we got to take accountability, you know what I mean, for this music that's coming out. You look at the comment section, fire emojis. Oh man, I wish you got to drop more of this and oh, this dude's a demon. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody said that, but they be hype for the wrong reasons. This is terrible music. You know what I mean? It is demonic music. So when demonic things happen, we can't be surprised. Okay? Numbers 14 and 18. The Lord is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, but by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation. All right, let's watch this next video.
Police in Forest Hill are investigating another deadly shooting in the city.
This one happened at a drive-through car wash just off I-20. NBC5's Maria Guerrero is at the crime scene live. Maria?
Hey there, guys. Yeah, not only is this investigation still very active, so is this scene, which just in the past few minutes, we did have police tape being finally brought down by Forest Hill Police. You could still see part of the scene unfolding here at Slappy's Express Car Wash. There has been this large crowd of family members that just left within the past couple of minutes. They were allowed to stay very, very close to this tragic scene. Many people have also been behind police tape. We are awaiting any kind of information from police, Forest Hill. We've been asking them all day long for any kind of information about what happened out here. The limited information we are getting is from family on this scene, and this is what they are telling us. They have identified the two victims of a shooting, they say, that happened here at the car wash this morning. They shared pictures with us saying Ronnie Smith, a local rapper, and his daughter are the victims of the shooting. His daughter, they said, just turned 5 years old yesterday. This was the tragic scene shortly after 11 this morning as dozens of people rushed to the scene as Forest Hills Police responded to Slappy's Express Car Wash along East California Parkway Service Road. The crowd only growing larger, leading area police from Fort Worth and Mansfield to come in and help. Forest Hill Police taped off a large section around the car wash. The victims' large extended family members coming in, struggling, of course, with their unimaginable grief. Smith's aunt tells NBC5 he was a good person, loved his two kids, and didn't bother anyone.
He didn't target nobody. He was a family man, and he was going around rapping. Okay, why would you target him? Why would you target him? He didn't bother nobody. And a baby, his baby. All we know is that.
All right, y'all, the strength for that. I'm gonna play his. Nah, I'm not gonna play his video. Never mind. Let's keep watching.
He was charged. He was doing the car, cleaning the car out, and somebody came through shooting and killed him and the baby.
There have been some tense moments throughout the day between police and some of the grieving people who arrived on scene. At one point, officers walked side by side to clear the field of people and get them just behind the crime tape, which did not sit well with some who said they are family members of the victims. But I did hear one officer explain to them that they are just being extra careful because they really had no idea if they could be around, the suspect could actually be somewhere in this large crowd throughout the day. We have, like I said, been trying to get Forest Hill Police to respond to some of our questions. This is the fourth murder in just a couple of days here in the city. We have not received word from police, only saying that a press conference that may or may not have happened out here, they said, is no longer going to be taking place. They will be releasing a statement within the hour. So we will definitely be pressing them for answers. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria Guerrero.
So, I'm not, because the tensions are high because, the 5-year-old got killed. You know what I mean? And once again, not victim blaming. If you listen to his music, if that's what you're rapping about and that's the energy you putting out, you're going to get that back. You know what I mean? Every idle word, death and life is in the power of the tongue. There's so many scriptures on that. You know what I mean? It talks about the tongue being like a vicious member. You know what I mean? Like, who can tame it? So when you're out there spreading that type of energy, letting that frequency, those vibes out there on the airwaves, and it comes back to you, you know what I mean? Like, it's messed up, man. It's messed up. So, it's a terrible situation, man. 5-year-old, she just turned 5, out there with her daddy. You know what I mean? Not saying that can't happen to anybody, you know what I mean? And this is Babylon. It's a terrible place. There's violence, there's crime, there's all this stuff going on right outside your front door. But when you aren't following no laws of God, right? And you just rapping about selling drugs and going OT and, you know what I mean, hopping out with the switch, and then something that happens to you, you know, maybe it's something that he did in his past. That stuff comes back to you. So the time we living in is like My Name Was Earl. I don't know if anybody ever watched that before, or I know the premise of that show, but it was Esau, right? And I don't even remember watching it myself, but I know the premise was he was going back in his past and apologizing to people that he did wrong, that he, you know, he did dirt to. So we gotta be on that type time. We gotta, you know, we gotta repent, you know, see if we can make things right that went wrong, that you know he was wrong that you did. You know, examine yourself before the day of judgment, you know, before something terrible happens, like this situation. All right. Last video. Last video. Let's go to Amos. Amos chapter 5, verse 24. And it's another crazy, like I said, and a lot of stuff I had to, you know, we'd be up here all night. As usual, that's nothing new, but I've been seeing a lot of domestic violence situations escalate into homicides. You know what I'm saying? This week alone. So, you know, get your house in order. Okay, get your house in order, Israel. Amos chapter 5, verse 24. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. So when judgment takes place, do yourself a favor, don't get in the way. Okay, I talk about this at length. You know, I don't recommend it. You know what I mean? If the Most High God is going to judge this person, and here you are saying, no, you stopped, you don't judge this person, you're going to get killed. You're going to get killed. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. Now, if you know, like they say, a hero ain't nothing but a sandwich with lettuce on it. You know, you know what I'm saying? If that's just it, if it's in your spirit, then I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? But as for me and my house, we getting ourselves in order. We you know, we trying to make our election sure. You know what I'm saying? We seeking out our salvation with fear and trembling. You know what I mean? And that's just as simple as that, you know. So one thing, we can't expect other people to, you know, jump, you know, and help us in these last days, man. I'm not helping nobody. You know what I mean? Maybe if we got fringes on, it might be something different. You know what I mean? But, you know, I've been in situations where I did do that and bad things happened. I learned, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I learned the hard way. Okay. So in this next video, also learned the hard way. And we'll talk about it or watch it.
They're live in Forest Hill.
And good evening. Off the top at 6 tonight, chilling new video that you'll only see on Local 10 News. From the morning, a young mother, her father, and a neighbor were gunned down by the woman's estranged husband in Tamarack. The three murders taking place in front of the couple's 4-year-old daughter, who was caught in the middle of all of that chaos.
And we must warn you, this new video could be hard to watch for some. We begin with Local 10's Andrew Brett live in Tamarack with the exclusive. Andrew.
You know, the video you're about to see, it is disturbing. It's horrific, but it's also the sad reality of domestic violence that happens every single day all across this country. And the family wanted to speak out because they feel too many people have become numb to it.
I just woke up out of the sleep and there's gunshots and swing.
It's hard to watch. It's hard to hear. And its neighbors dial 911.
A lady was knocking really hard on my door, running in the street with a little girl.
Mary Gingles runs for help to get away from her ex-husband. Nathan Gingles just shot and killed her father, say deputies. He chases her now, taking aim at one point. their 4-year-old daughter running behind them, house to house, until they find a neighbor who helps.
I didn't know why that poor woman had to endure what she had to endure. And I didn't know why that terrible travesty, that nightmare that she must have been living, landed on our doorstep.
That neighbor was George David's nephew, Andrew Farron, 36 years old, a big part of a close family.
I honestly believe that Andrew was the best part of all of us. He didn't come from a traditional marriage. We all raised him. I can't have my nephew become a footnote and a tragic scenario, and it is a tragic scenario.
Nathan allegedly shooting and killing Farron at his home alongside his ex-wife, Mary. Nathan's daughter, Serafina, was found physically unharmed. We've learned, though, since Nathan's arrest, about the dozens of domestic violence calls against him, about the restraining order, the divorce, horrific allegations of domestic abuse, how the system failed Mary, one that prompted the suspension of 7 BSO deputies. David's saying domestic violence is an epidemic that he feels people are numb to.
I need there to be changes in the law. I need to know that if he had to be killed, unnecessarily in some kind of tragic, weird event, and he's an individual that was just known for helping people, and this law can help someone, I would like to honor him with that.
And the first thing that has to happen is identifying all the things that went wrong here. By all accounts, experts say that Mary Gingles did everything right. Meanwhile, little Serafina, we know that she is with the state, but family is involved working to get custody.
Yeah, so he opened the door, Bull killed him and her. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it be going. It happens sometimes. You know what I mean? Domestics are the worst because you have no idea what led up to that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that woman could have did the worst thing possible to him, and he's like, I'm done. He's not satisfied with blood. He don't want to talk nothing. He's going just he's killing. And anybody that gets in the way, you know what I mean? Or she could have did nothing at all and just set him off. You know what I mean? It could be just somebody that's got a lot of issues, But either way, you know, the judgment is raining down. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta let judgment happen, Not telling you what to do, telling you what I'm gonna do. And that's just the way it is. I had a dream about that years ago. Said let judgment happen. Somebody's getting judged, you stepping away, I'm gonna take you out of here. That's pretty much what the message was. So I'm just displaying it to y'all. All right, that is the lesson. Hopefully it was edifying. You know what I mean? Hopefully we understand that at least with this, people are on their last leg, you know what I mean? They're looking to crash out. So don't let them bring you down. You know what I mean? You got a good thing going. You know who you are. You know what you should be doing. You know you should be following these laws, statutes, commandments. You see the prophecies. You see Esau going to war with each other. Trump, I ain't even talk about that. Trump giving Zelensky hell in the Oval Office or wherever they was at in the White House, going back and forth. Now Trudeau and Trump going back and forth, the retaliation tariffs, and the same thing happened with Mexico, retaliation tariffs, China, retaliation tariffs, you know what I mean? That's trade wars. Trade wars, ultimately, they continue on, they go to hot wars. All right. So you might be like, it's not a big deal. But when a shot's fired, it becomes a big deal because if money and economies start, getting affected, then Trump might just say, I'm not gonna buy Canada. I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna buy Greenland. I'm gonna invade Greenland. And they had people, I think the French were like, we got to watch him because he might just say, send a battalion over to Greenland and got like 5 people over there. It's not 5, but you know what I mean. It's not a lot of people over there, and take over that land. We're in a crazy time period right now, and America's collapsing right before our eyes. So let's focus in. Situations in Israel, don't want to speak on it. Read a couple scriptures, but and it pains me that everybody feels they have to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to bring this out, but the reality is, and I didn't watch the videos or anything. I kind of get the premise of what's going on, but at the same time, the brother is getting rebuked sharply by damn near everybody on Facebook, and it's just it's unfortunate that a lot of people that are doing the rebuking, you can't see one video of them breaking down any scriptures, going out to the people and waking people up. Like, it's the same people that just love drama and love you know they live for this. You know what I'm saying? They live for moments like this where now I can talk. I can say I ain't like that nigga anyway, and I know he was wicked, and all you camps is wicked, and da 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 da. And they have nothing on their resume other than my name is such and such Yisrael or such and such Yasha Allah. You know what I mean? And the brother's already, they say he repented, and you know what I mean, but Israel's disturbing sometimes. I'm just being honest. I mean, Israel really can get under your skin when it comes to something like this because of the fact they did it to Christ. You know what I'm saying? Christ came and was doing miracles and everything. They're like, crucify him. You know what I mean? The same people are here. The same people got the same spirit, that same nasty spirit, man. You know what I mean? But look, let's get Timothy, 1 Timothy 5:20. We'll talk about it and then we're not. Okay. And like, you think you're allowing this stuff to happen or whatever. Like, you feel the need to speak on it, but you're not saying nothing with Donald Trump. You're not saying nothing with these stories that we just brought out, brothers getting punched on and fighting back and then getting arrested. All these other things that's going on in the world, can't speak on it. Something happens, with this, and it's kind of like trending or whatever like that, then it's like, people come out of the woodwork. You haven't heard from them in years, months, but here they are. 1 Timothy 5:20. Them that sin rebuke before all, that others may fear. And that's what's happening. You know what I mean? He's getting rebuked in front of everybody. And if you're doing something, your secret sin, and nobody knows, and this, that, and the third, the scriptures are clear. What's done in the dark is going to come to the light. What's whispered in closets is going to be shouted out on the rooftops. So whatever sin you're doing right now, or you're going to do tomorrow or the next day or whatever like that, guess what? I'm going to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be splattered all over the internet. So do yourself a favor and stop doing it. You know what I mean? And you won't be dragged around the Israelite community like the brother that's what he's dealing with right now. Let's go to Job chapter 5, verse 17. Okay, with that in mind, Job chapter 5, verse 17. Behold, happy is the man who God correcteth. Therefore despise not the chastening of the Almighty. Because this guy could be dead. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that the Most High has kept him alive, you know what I mean, is enough for him to repent and turn from his wicked ways. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, Israel wants him to destroy himself. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens? He destroys himself. The person that put out the text messages, whatever, he destroys them. And just like the whole thing that we just seen, there's domestic violence all over, right? So he does that. And now oh, condolences. Oh, he wasn't such a bad guy. You know, oh man, hopefully he repented before that happened. It's so fake. It pains me. You know what I mean? And I thank God that we're doing this nationwide fast coming up, and we can you know, get these demons out of here. You know what I'm saying? Demons on all of us. You know what I'm saying? It's that we're in Babylon. It says it's the, you know, the house of every foul and uncaged bird, or Slacky, I'm paraphrasing. But this is nothing but evil here. Evil here. So hopefully the brother repents. You know, I heard that he did, and hopefully he turns from his wicked ways and comes back stronger. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. All right, that is the lesson. Brother, Slacky, y'all, I got stuff in my throat. Brother, you want to close out in prayer? Everybody want to face the east? All right. And I'll give you the floor.
Salaki, can you hear it?
Con.
Okay, con. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwata, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Asha, Baharataza, Gawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Slaki, Nathaniel Lanawa, Lakam, Ga, Yawam, Wasalako Lanawa, Kawa Bathlanawa, Kasa Salaki, Kasa Laklanawa, Kawa Ba, Watanawa, Wala'a, Taba Yanawa, Banasa Yawa, Haba, Hawasanawa, Mayan, Rai, Gaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Waha Salaki, Wahata, Aparara, Lawalayam, Man.
Yeah, all praises, all praises. The Water King. All right. So hopefully you were edified, and you know, we sharpen each other up. We know what time it is. We know where we want to go. We know where we're at, and we continue to elevate and be better each and every day. We all fall short, but we get back up. We get on our we get back on the horse and we ride. You know what I mean? And then we gonna be on them chariots. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Most High willing. All right, brothers. Yabashim Sharagatham. Sisters, Yabashim Shamarthan. Kom Yashala. We got next. Shabbat. Shabbat. Shalom. Come.
Shalom.
God. Right on. Shalom, y'all.